Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. Welcome. Some of y'all have been a little bit mad at me. You told me that I was hoarding information because I didn't release the baby chicks until this morning. But I'm sorry, I had to catch up. I spent so much time with y'all on Sunday that between the time change kicking my butt and all that's been happening around here that I had to catch up on life, and I didn't have time to do all of the updates that I would have wanted to do. But while we wait to get started, I am sitting here hoarding all of the fun chick watching. They're extremely, extremely, extremely cute and fuzzy right now and super active and loving life. I say super active. They're more active than the sleeping that happened yesterday. They're finding their legs. They're getting friendly with each other. They're getting curious. And they're stinking cute. Don't worry, I won't make you watch them the whole time. I just wanted to show you how great they're doing because they're so fun to watch, y'all. All right, I'm closing them back up. They're right here. We can go back to them at any point in time. And the other ones are on the floor. The OGs, the bantams are on the floor over here. Chickens have taken over the apartment a little bit for right now. It's fine. It'll be fine. The others will graduate soon, and we'll go from there. All right. Tonight's cocktail. So they gave me cherry Pepsi Zero because they were out of Pepsi Zero, and I was not sad about this in any way. So to accompany our cherry Pepsi Zero, I got a little moonshine. What could go wrong, right? It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be totally fine. And we're gonna drink it out of the boot. So, oh my God, I didn't think this through. Lester's not here. Okay, we're gonna be fine. Got her open. We're gonna start with just a couple cherries, a little bit of wild cherry Pepsi Zero, which I'm sure is incredibly healthy for me. In order to mix appropriately, this is what we're gonna do. That should be good, right? It looks pretty anyway. Whoops, stay in there. Almost. Cheers to Timeout Tuesday. Kathy says, we need more. Chickens or cherries? That's what I need to know. Oh, that's really good. You can't taste any alcohol, which is terrifying considering that's moonshine and is extremely strong. That might be my new drink, y'all. That might be my new Friday night cocktail. Extremely dangerous, but extremely good as well. So, a lot's been going on. As you can see, there are 9 chicks instead of the 8 that I announced in my video. I will put a video out about how and why that happened, but it is one of mine. Just happened a little bit later than anticipated, and she does have a really sweet story of coming into this world, but I'll save that probably for Thursday's video. The other chicks are getting really big and in that really awkward teenage phase of growing half feathers and half fur and losing some of that original down that's on them. So they're also though getting like super playful and fun. So my plans are, if the weather stays good tomorrow, that I'm going to start bringing them outside for short periods of time into the halfway house while I'm outside working. So we'll have the dogs put up, cats, we'll leave them alone because they can't get in there. And I'll bring them to the halfway house to start to be exposed to outside. And I think that's going to be really interesting. My hopes are that I'll be able to go live while they're out there and just set the phone down and let you all watch, because they're pullets now, except for they're straight run. So aren't pullets female? Yeah. So I don't know what they are. But it'll be really cute to watch, because right now in their little brooder, they're like jumping all over the place, flapping their newly grown wings and kind of tackling each other some days. And it's absolutely hilarious to sit and watch. Now, these are adorable to watch. Those are becoming funny. So that will be fun to be able to do. And Lester has some loose lips. What happened? What did Lester share? Pullets are female. Yeah. So both of these are straight run. We have no idea who's who or what's what, and we will not know for some time. I've read a lot about the finding out the gender of the chickens. I can't say the words. So, the wings will grow and you can like sometimes pull the feathers out to see, but you have to hit it in certain amount of time since they've been born. And then on the bantams, they're all different breeds. That time hits at a different time. And nothing is like for sure. Lester let a secret out. No one is shocked. No one. Yes, between 3 to 5 days. And I've missed it with the bantams. I will try it here and we can take guesses, but I'm not sure we're gonna actually figure it out. Oh, Lester was singing this morning. Okay. Well, that's okay. Anyway. I did see that Barnadette is back. Hold on. I'm going to pull out a little chick here for y'all. Not one that's eating. I'm going to pull one that's playing. So you can see what I mean. Sorry, baby. Their feathers start to grow. Like this baby is 2 days old right now. Their feathers start to grow. And allegedly you can like pull out their feathers to see if it's straight across or if it dips in. And you can't be sure. I've seen a lot of videos on it, and for them to be able to, determine of like, some people determine like keep or not keep from that. And I'm not going to do that. Oops. Sorry, baby. And if we have roosters, we will figure, sheesh, the whole dang thing's falling apart on me. If we end up with some roosters, then we'll talk about what happens from there. But anyway, really pleased to have chicks. I had to take them out of my office because I think people were starting to hear them on the Zoom calls, because the older ones were like super, super playful and vocal, and they're vocal all night long. So I decided to bring them out into the kitchen for now until they graduate, because it's a little crowded. It'll be fine. It's fine. So the other night, I was running out to do my night rounds, and I made the cardinal sin of not bringing a flashlight with me. And as I was walking out there and talking to my horses and my donkeys, I forgot. I don't know why I forgot. I was focused, I guess. And it's been parked here forever, but I couldn't see it because it's so dark. I ran into the trailer hitch with my thigh. Now, I got big old thighs. they can take a lot. They can take a beating. It'll be fine. But when I ran into it so hard that I kind of jostled my back a little bit. So I've been somewhat limping around here trying to like sort my life out. And it's bothering me that I haven't been able to like bend over into plant my potatoes and get my garden going, but also to bend over for these chicks. I do have a lovely bar-sized bruise on my upper thigh, and that's great. Super awesome. But I can't believe that it hurt. Like it hurt my lower back. Like if you know what an SI joint is, it actually hurt my SI joint. So I'm like, I have a little bit of a catch right now. So whenever I bend over, I'm probably going to get stuck there. So I had to put chickens on the counter, and that, friends, is why my house is mostly overtaken with chickens, and it's on here. I am making an appointment to go to see Dr. Baker, but I didn't have time yet. And I also thought that it would go away by today if I stretched and did all of the right things, but it's not. So even Lester today was like, stop what you're doing and tell Timeout Tuesday we'll wait and we'll go see Dr. Baker. But my day got too busy and I just kept thinking it would go away. So I'll ice tonight. I already did some heat and I will see. But yeah, no more late night adventures without a flashlight, because I plowed right into that sucker and definitely jostled some stuff. So it's going to be so fine. It's going to be so great. Some other things that are going on. I got a phone call. I guess it was Saturday, from my dad. And I don't talk a lot about my dad. I don't have that great of a connection or relationship with him. It's not a bad one. There's nothing negative or awful that's happened. There just isn't one. And probably hasn't been one for many, many years. And maybe it's where he was in life whenever I was younger, or maybe now. I don't know. Anyway, my dad is now retired, and when he called, said, "Hey, I'm coming to Texas." Okay. My dad lives in Illinois, near the rest of my family. And he's always been an extremely hard worker and has worked like 7, 12-hour days. He's been in construction and has just been a workaholic. So now that he's retired, he's like, "I'm coming to see you." I was really taken aback. Quite frankly, shocked, and wondered like, why? Like, for one, I was worried that he was going to tell me something awful or, that type of thing. But I think that he has finally found time to just do all the things that he put off all those years. Because when I say he worked, like, he worked a lot, and he lived about an hour and a half away, but would travel for work as well. And I don't mean like business travel. I mean like go work those 7/12s, out of town, and followed the work basically. So now my dad is coming to visit, and Lester has never met my dad. And like I said, I don't think that I've seen my dad in the last 5 years. And before that probably was at least another 5 before that, and only intermittently. So my dad's coming to Texas on Thursday, and he's staying until Monday, and I don't know what to expect. And I'm struggling a little bit to like, when family comes to visit, I want to be present. I want to entertain. I want to show. My dad is such a workaholic that he doesn't really watch TV. I don't think he knows that I do this. I don't think he has any clue whatsoever that we make videos. I don't think that he has any idea about social media, Facebook, YouTube, nothing. So I'm a little bit like, is he going to be weirded out about a camera? Is he going to be, is it going to blow his mind? Because I'll be honest, when I answered the phone, it said dad, and dad doesn't call. So I answered the phone. I'm like, "Hey, Dad." He goes, hey kiddo. And I'm thinking to myself, like, does he know I'm 40, 42, almost 43 years old? Like, or in his head, am I still the 17-year-old, from way back? I don't know. He doesn't have that much of a relationship with Xander. Didn't when he was little. He's, I know, trying to be able to hang out with the rest of my nieces and nephews and be at their sporting events because he's retired now and has time. And I'm so happy for that. And I am just really nervous about how this is going to go. Is he going to be bored? Is he, like his number one love in life is work. And now that he's not working, I know that he also loves to fish. Like he's, that's his like number one thing outside of work. But I don't know that he wants to come here to fish. And there's not that, I mean, I don't know. So I'm eager to spend time with him, to catch up, to show him, our life here for him to meet Lester and do those things. But like the dad that I know, like I said, works his tail off. When I was growing up, he loved to go dancing, like family weddings or any opportunity. He would love to go dancing. And, I don't think that they dance like that in Texas. I don't think there's a lot of polkas and things like that. So, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to catch up. He was going to drive, but like me and like my grandfather, we all have a factor V blood clotting disease, and we've all suffered from the history of blood clots. So the thought of my dad driving 15 hours here, I was like, Dad, you can't spend that much time in the car. Like it'll take you 3 days to recover from it. And then to turn around and drive back, like that's just really unsafe. So I am flying him down and I will pick him up at the airport. He's only flown one other time in his life. And that was in like the 90s for a work trip. So we had to go through like all of the things, right? TSA and what you can pack and what you can't, and the suitcase. And it's hard. Like I almost thought about, I should fly up and get him and then he can fly back by himself. But it's going to be interesting by far. He loves to hunt. He loves to fish. He loves the outdoors. So obviously I can accommodate the fishing part and showing him around and all of those things. But after that, his number 2 question was, do you have a coffee pot? Yeah, we have 2. We actually have 2. My dad is 64. 64. So it'll be interesting. He works out every single day at the gym. He even made the joke with me. He goes, I actually been working out at the gym and they have tanning. He goes, I got a tanning bed for the first time in my life. So I'm coming down with the tan. So that made me laugh. My dad is single, I believe. I don't know. I think so. He's never remarried. But I am nervous. And then I wonder, like, so the Houston rodeo is going on, and the Houston rodeo is kind of a spectacle to see. It's something that I want eventually Xander and Kendra to enjoy, my mom to enjoy. Like my brother and his kids were here and they went and loved it. And I am wondering, like, should I take my dad to the rodeo? But then I also think about like time. Okay. So the rodeo is 2+ hours to get there. And that's fine. I don't mind doing that. But does my dad really want to take that big of a chunk of his time? Because it's basically like a day. It's basically like 8 hours plus by the time that you drive there and do all of the rodeo things and then make your way back. Is that worthy of some of the time? Will he have a good time? I think so, because it's something that there's no way that he's ever seen a rodeo in his life, ever, because I didn't until I came here. And when I asked him, like, you want to go to a rodeo? He goes, I'll do anything you want to do. Okay. So I feel like we'll do that one day. But then there's also a part of me that's like, I should take him to Galveston. I should maybe do something extravagant. Like, I have a friend who they do fishing charters. Maybe I should take him out on the ocean to fish. Or maybe I should not do anything extravagant at all and just hang out at home and catch up. But I think that in the time from Thursday until Monday, there's plenty of time to catch up, even driving to those places too. Like, it's not like there's so much going on that, we can't do much. My dad is an adventurous to an extent. Like, when we were growing up, Saturday nights, we would go to the stock car races, which was a dirt track. His friends raced, and that was something that he enjoyed watching and hanging out with them. And here's me and my brothers in tow. And then after the races were over, we'd go to it was called the Pizza Market, or Mazio's Pizza. And Dad would give us like a roll of quarters, and we would play the games and all of the quarter machines in the back to get all the junk to come home with, basically stay out of my hair and, that type of thing. We spent a lot of time on the lake. Dad had a little tiny boat, and being able to learn to water ski and to tube and wakeboard, and then of course fish. We always fished. And then of course hunting is one of his big things too. I think the rodeo would be a fun thing that has such a spectacle. But then I also want, so I haven't bought the tickets yet because I haven't asked, are you comfortable walking this far? Because it's a lot of walking. It's no joke walking. Like, even when we have to walk up the giant ramps and everything like that, I'll make, if it's hot like it was last year, I made Lester, I'm like, can we just pause for 1 minute right here and just let me catch my breath, because it's a lot of walking. So I'm not sure. And the other thing is, he's the most skilled carpenter I know. And all of the projects around here, I'm not asking him to do any projects, but I know that everything, all of my dream things around here, my dad could complete better than anyone I could ever hire. So I don't want to hint around and be like, well, if you come back in the summer, if you come back in the fall, or anything like that, but I also know that that's some of his greatest prides. My dad would buy these crappy houses and turn them into the most beautiful interiors ever. He's amazing at framing, at concrete, at finished work, at building furniture. I mean, he's just a skilled craftsman. So I'm hopeful that he'll do a couple small projects with me, just because that would be a really neat thing to have both I'm going to get emotional, and I didn't expect to. There's a lot of projects here that have my mom's handprints all over them. To have some that have my dad's would be really special too. Thank you, Hannah. I will take a drink. So we'll see. I can't wait for him to meet our horses and our dogs. He loves dogs. And just to be able to show him around, be able to ask his advice on some of my big dreams. Like, one of the big dreams here is the other end of the shop and closing that. And talking through that with him will be a fun little dreaming event. Yes, I wish Xander and Kendra could be here too. Xander is very heavy into a mandatory overtime at a new work project, and he's working 7 days a week right now as well. Show him Carl, Jay says. He will meet Carl, I promise that, and Pig Trudy, which will probably freak him out. Growing up, we had a beagle. That was the extent of our animals. And then later in life, he had a golden retriever named Max.
that was long after, all of us kids were grown, and he doesn't have any pets right now. I actually asked, like when I was booking his flight to go back home, of like, when do you want to go home? Do you still have animals that you need to care for? He goes, nope, just me and my gym membership. And he's also in a bike club, which is it's a motorcycle bike club, but it's not a Harley. I don't remember exactly what he has, but they do like, oh my gosh, they do like, it's like a touring something. They go up and down like the Great River Road and all of those things. So those are like his things that he's involved in. He used to teach martial arts and things like that. I don't know if he's doing any of that anymore. Maybe it is Goldwing. I don't know anything about motorcycles, for the record. Am I going to go live when my dad comes? I don't know. He has no idea about this, y'all. Like this right here is like, it's really weird to have someone in my life not know that this is such a huge part of my life. So that's going to be like an eye opener, probably like a really big shock thing, because my dad just works. That's what he's done, is just work. And just be, she'd be like, Dad, we're going to sit on the computer and we're going to talk to 5,000 people here for the next hour, would blow his mind. So I have no idea what he'll be up for or what he won't. And if he even understands or knows that part of things. Because like I said, like he's a workaholic. He wakes up in the morning, drinks his coffee, and then probably, like when I was growing up, wakes up in the morning, puts his coffee in a Stanley thermos, like the old school green Stanley thermos with the handle on it that's like this long and has like the two loops, that the cup is also on top, and fills up the round water jug, the round igloo cooler, with a gallon of ice that he froze in the deep freeze overnight, and fills the rest up with hose water, and ties that to the inside of his bumper, closes the bumper, has all of his tools in the back seat of his truck and in the toolbox, and loads up and goes to work. And that was like at 5 a.m. most of the time. And then whenever he was in town, this is like my high school years, it was just the last time that I really had interactions, like to be able to see his daily routine. Get home after dark, feed the beagle, whose name was Bogart. And when he was alive, because Bogart died when I was a freshman, something like that. And then come home. If he had to mow the grass. If it was wintertime, be done and maybe make some dinner, and then go to bed and start it all over again the next day. So it's going to be interesting. That's the best way that I could put it. And catching up is going to be something, When I was a kid, we would, on weekends that he had us, as I mentioned, Saturday nights were the races, but Saturday mornings were his errand days. And Friday nights were grocery shopping nights. And we would go to the, we called it the movie store. It was the movie rental place in town. And we would each be able to pick out a movie and you would rent it back then for the weekend. So we would pick out, 3 VCR tapes on Friday night and go home, maybe go to the grocery store, maybe. And he would make what we called special popcorn. And that popcorn had sugary, buttery stuff he poured all over it. And one of us got to pick the color that he would pour on it. And we would maybe watch that movie. For the most part, I was the oldest. I spent a lot of time upstairs in my room, probably on the phone, probably doing makeup, probably doing all kinds of things that were just girl things. And my dad mostly connected with my younger brothers. And did guy stuff, which was normal. I would have friends over sometimes. Saturday morning was wake up and he would run to the post office, the bank, and get all of his errands done. But Saturday afternoon we had to wash the truck. So the youngest brother was too little, but Josh and I spent a lot of time washing that red 1982 Ford pickup truck. So much time. And it was a square body and it was a stick shift. It had no AC. It had the vent things that like went side to side, like to be able to determine the temperature. It also had the triangle windows that you open and then the roll down windows. And I remember Josh and I talk about this all the time, my brother Josh. So it was a bench seat. So 2 kids had to share the crossbody seatbelt. 1 kid in the middle got that seatbelt alone, but the stick shift was, between your legs. And then there was Dad's seat. And Josh was sitting next to the door, and Dad was having a bad day, like a really bad day. And he went to grab the door handle to let us out of the truck, and the whole handle broke off in his hand. And Dad was so mad. But it was a funny moment that we still remember to this day. And I realized looking back that it was probably like the last straw. My dad just held on to that truck all had to be through 96. Yeah, 1996, 98, something like that. So it was like a 16-year-old truck. But that's, I drove that truck and it was a stick and it was amazing. It's just so funny to sit here and think about all those memories. Hey, Dr. Baker, I hope you're feeling better. So Dad is going to stay here in the RV. That was the other thing. He asked me if I had a couch to crash on. And I was like, I got better. I have an RV. He goes, like, at your house? Yes, at my house. He goes, does it work? Yes. Yeah, we have AC, we have heat, we have, running water. But we also, because I think he thought that I lived in an RV whenever I said that. So I think it'll be fine. I know it'll be fine, but it is just one of those things where I'm like, out of the blue, like completely out of the blue. So we will see how that goes. But it's been interesting getting to this point. Let's see here. Lester's here. Hey, babe. We have looked at chicks already. We've talked about my dad coming already. The other things that are going on here, we are about to do a pasture shuffle, and that is, I'm hoping, going to happen tomorrow. The donkeys are eating my trees a lot, and I don't know why. I think it's strictly out of boredom. I think that Dinky Daryl is probably the biggest culprit behind it. It's like some weird fun thing that he's enjoying, and then everybody else jumps in and does it as well. So I'm going to move the donkeys over to the other side of the pasture, and I'm hoping that the curiosity of the new space allows them to not eat my trees, eat our trees here. But we'll see. Sounds like the Trinity River. Hold on a second. My comments are running too fast. Oh, I do have the Trinity River in the back for him to fish. I have no idea how he'll get down there, but we'll see. Have I opened packages yet? Yes, most of them I did yesterday, and I got some amazing gifts that I want to showcase on a separate video. Someone's sent some amazing things in honor of Voodoo, and both Lester and I got a good cry out this afternoon about some of those. But I want to be able to do those justice and kind of go through those. Lester said Molly's book. Yeah. Lester, I ugly cried reading it, and I don't know that I can read it here. I'm still reading some comments. He wants me to read it so that he doesn't cry in front of y'all, because I will tell you right now, it was beautiful. Oh my gosh. All right, I'll read it. So I did take Thursday and Friday off work, but while I'm approved to take off work, the rest of some of my work does not stop. So I will have to do some in between things, just because I feel like I can't miss some of the calls. So I will still do some things and step out to an extent. You want to see my dad meet Roman? You know what's funny is my dad's 6'4". So while that's not very much taller than Lester, he is a tall man. And meeting Roman will probably still impress the heck out of him, because I don't think my dad's been around horses at all his whole life. All right. Voodoo Story by Molly Meredith. I'm already feeling it, okay? Like, right before I went live, I made the mistake of reading this, and it's not a negative mistake. It was just this is a lot. All right. It's probably backwards for y'all, and I apologize for that. In loving memory to Lester Jamie and to all the people Voodoo touched with his love and bravery, our hero, king, leader, and friend. We will miss you, but we will see you again. When I arrived at the sanctuary, I was scared. I didn't know where I was or what was going on, but these sweet people said I was theirs, and they will take great care of me. I instantly felt at ease. I felt their love, and I knew I was in the right place. They showed me around the pasture fields and told me this is all mine. I met another horse there named Bucky's. I didn't know it then, but he would be my best friend until the end. I met another horse named Dixie. Then some ducks, geese, chickens, turkeys, alpacas, goats, pigs, cows, donkeys, and Ivy, our little pony. Mama and Daddy showed me what love was. They cared for me until the end. Daddy loved to ride me, but sometimes I would buck him off. He would get back on me and tell me it was all right. I got a new sister named Rita. She's a firecracker. Make your ears pretty, Rita, is Daddy's favorite saying for her. Then we went to another property named Longhorn Lester's, now the JL Ranch South. I just love the pastures there. I got a barn and a loafing shed. It wasn't long before Dixie was sick. I gave her comfort and told her I would take care of her best friend, Beverly, the donkey. It was all right to go on and to get some rest. It wasn't long before she went over the River Jordan. Then God sent another sister to ease Mama's heart, a pretty one named Storm. I could see Mama's heart healing with her. Mama and Daddy found another place, the JL Ranch North. Wow, it is beautiful. It's rolling hills and the greenest grass ever. I did get hurt over there protecting my little herd. Mama and Daddy and our social media family said I was a hero, but I was just doing my job taking care of my family. Dr. Cochran, she is the best. She came running to fix me up. Thank you, my friend. Courtney and Ashley, my farriers, arranged transport to Texas A&M to help me in my healing. They were there to take me on, off, and on the trailer. I loved the attention at Texas A&M, and it did help that some beautiful ladies were there. I came home, and my parents took the best care of me, too. Dr. Baker, my chiropractor, gave me a good workover, too. We all need a good alignment. Another sister came to us, Prim. She was beautiful and became a great friend, too. Mama and Daddy said I had another brother at the JL Ranch North named Roman. They said he was huge.
Daddy sure loves him. I got sick again. Stupid laminitis. I'm in such pain, but I'm brave. Mom and Daddy tried to so hard to get me fixed back up, but the pain is too much. I told Mama it was time. Vets said they had done all they could do, and I tried to be your brave soldier, but it was time to go. Don't worry, Mama and Daddy. I'll tell Dixie and all the others that you said hi and that you love them. It's so beautiful here. No more pain, just green pastures as far as you can see. When the pain and grief is too much, just look up, and I'll always be with you. Remember when your time is past. We will all be waiting for you at the gate. Thank you for loving me, Mom and Dad. And that is why Lester wouldn't read it. Thank you, Miss Molly. Sorry for crying. I miss that horse. We miss that horse. His herd misses him. I don't even know if they know that they miss him, but they know that something's off. They know he's not there. I know that. But I don't know if they know why they're out of sorts. And I'm spending more time than I have in a very long time in that barn and in that pasture and trying to comfort them and trying to bring peace. And I believe that Bucky's is taking it the hardest. It was his best friend. And the girls are trying really hard to include him and incorporate him, but I feel like Voodoo helped Bucky's. Voodoo helped everybody, but I feel like Voodoo helped Bucky's in ways that we didn't understand at the time. I believe that he gave him confidence because of his sight situation. I believe that he kept him entertained to an extent and always stayed connected to him. And I can feel that Bucky's misses him a lot and misses having a buddy, misses having that, the guy connection. And I feel terrible for Bucky's because I can't imagine what it feels like to lose your person. So sorry to take the live down this path. Bucky's is around 20. He was right around the same age as Voodoo. Yeah, they were bros, they were chums, they were buddies, they were, they were number one and number two. But it's hard to it's still hard to process that he's not here. And like I talked about with Dixie, I had months with Dixie and I had very little time with Voodoo between the time that he got super sick and the time that he left this earth. Looking back and realizing and recognizing that he was sick often and for a while really made me like question my analysis, because when I would spend time here day in and day out, I never looked at Voodoo as the sick horse.
But Voodoo had a lot of times where he was not well. And a lot of it was laminitis flares or, arthritis and things like that. And when you're in it, I guess every single day, you don't like add up the amount of times that it's happened. And then when I was making his memorial video and looking back and just going on my own YouTube and typing his name in, I just recognized how often it had happened and how he probably gave me much more time than I realized or recognized, because I just always took him as one of the herd, But Aline says looking back is educating. It really is, because I do feel like everything in life, you just do it, The same thing is like my job in the beginning of my career and how much time that I spent actually traveling and away and all of the 20-hour days and all those things. Like when you're in it, you do it. But the second you take a step away and like look back, you realize like, holy cow, that was intense. And I think probably the same thing, even with my dad, talking about my dad being retired now, when he looks back, he probably has to think about like how much of his life that he gave to work. And the same thing with looking back at Voodoo, like thinking about how much of his care I was blessed enough to give him and to be a part of. So I did not intend to cry tonight. Sorry for that. It is a beautiful book. And Boo is a beautiful horse with an incredible soul. One that is like forever gonna leave a mark. For sure. I almost made it a whole hour without crying. And then Lester made me read the book. We can blame Lester. I like it. What's wild is like, I always knew when they told us that he was a medicine hat, like that was special. But I didn't realize, again, how special and how unique until way later. Funny what life does to you. Dang it, Lester, quit making Jamie cry. He probably left because he was crying. He didn't want anybody to know it. Yes, all the chicks that are going to hatch have hatched. And I have 2 separate brooders going. And I'm having fun with chickens. I have not put anything on Voodoo's grave just yet because the stuff that y'all have sent I just opened, and Carl just got moved out of that pasture and I haven't been able to bring myself to go back in that pasture yet, to be transparent. So I'm working on it. What was easier was putting Alive on eggs to watch them hatch and not facing y'all after I bawl my eyes out. That was easier. So the eggs that did not hatch, I threw those away today. Yeah, everybody needs to take a deep breath. Christmas is with Lester because I had to kick her out tonight. She was very, 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 very interested in one of the brooders. And she's been fine to just sit and watch, but she started to like just get a little anxious around it. And I didn't have the patience tonight, sadly. So she went with Lester to the JL North. Did y'all watch Stephanie hatch baby chicks today too? Because her incubator is like the total Cadillac of incubators, and they had so much more room. Our poor little chicks were like running laps in that tiny little circle, and I still can't believe that they fit the way that they did. They turned out okay though. If I ever do it again, I will probably upgrade incubators. We'll see though. That's a big F. I have plenty of chickens right now. Total number of chickens is 17. Whoopsie. I have not named the new, do you call them a clutch? Flock? Like, what do you call hatchlings or what? Like, what do you call your, anyway, the new Hank is chicken sitting. Hank is actually out in the shop. Hank followed me out to grab this soda and I wasn't fighting him. So that's okay. He's leaving me alone for right now. He has been up in my business nonstop lately. You call him a clutch, you call him a hatch, you call him a brood. Clutch. Clutch sounds right. Biddies? I thought biddies was like old biddies, like old, a bunch of grouchy ladies. A couch of eggs? No, it's a clutch of hens, right? A clutch of chicks? It's a clutch. We are not taking Eugene to lunch with my dad. Dad is not ready for that part, that side of our lives. That's a nope. It'll be enough of a shock to be able to tell Dad that we have a lot of friends and family that we talk to every day through a computer, because he's not going to get that at all. We're not, listen, nobody's gut can typically handle ponchos. That's probably not the best way to introduce Dad to Texas. I did think about, so a few years ago, we took Ellie and Lex to indoor skydiving, and I actually still have 4 certificates to do that. I thought about taking Dad to do that because that might be something that he's never done before, that he would never do on his own. So we'll see. So the casino. So my dad lives in Southern Illinois, where there's gambling machines at every single gas station on every single corner. And then in St. Louis, because he's like 20 miles from St. Louis, have the most big, extravagant casinos outside of Vegas. So taking my dad to the Indian casino here is probably not that glamorous to him, but it may happen. It may. We'll see. Group of baby chicks is called a brood. I missed the second part of that. I missed that. Sorry. I can't find it again. Rodeo and skydiving indoors. Yeah, I think so. Brisket and Tex-Mex. I feel like, so the part about going to Galveston, like I don't want to run the roads all day, every day. Like that's not, I don't want to do that. But if I took him to Galveston, I could take him to Buc-ee's because it's on the way. It's kind of like one or the other, you know? Because both are really long trips, and he'll only have 3 full days here, and I don't want to spend every single day gone. A flock of chickens. Yeah, I knew that. My dad is from Southern Illinois, down by St. Louis. I'm looking at the rest of the comments for suggestions. Texas barbecue. Yeah, he's a really simple man. So that was the other thing is I almost asked him like, what kind of snacks do you want for the RV? But I already know. So growing up, Dad would have regular Pepsi. He would have cheese and peanut butter crackers, always Chex Mix and Granny Smith apples. Those are his, and Little Debbie snack cakes. Those are all of his like things. So my dad where's he retiring from? He is a union carpenter, construction worker. So he's built bridges and scaffolding and oil refineries and homes and poured basements, and he's done a lot. Yep, Granny Smith apples. I love them too. They're my favorite apples. I like the sour. I wish I could grow them here. The only apple that'll potentially grow here is the Anna apple, and it's because we don't have a long enough cold for them. So that's not going to happen. A brood or a clutch. Okay. I like clutch. I have 2 clutches. That sounds fancy. Yeah, my chicken mask got a little crazy. So here's the thing. When I got the eggs, I didn't believe that so many would hatch because I ordered them off of eBay. Who knew that you could ship fertile eggs and they would still hatch, or that I would do it right? So that happened. A little bit more than I anticipated to happen. Also, then I found bantams, which I love bantams. And usually those chicks that come from Tractor Supply don't have a very good live rate either. So I didn't expect them all to make it, and they've all made it. And then here I am with a lot of chicks. It's going to be fine. It's going to be totally fine. I do have the space. The coop will actually hold like 20 chickens. Great. But until Lester gets rabbits, then we have a second coop out there. And the whole run area, once we get that done, is huge. Like it's like 65 by 26, something like that. It was a really big space. It's not like they're going to be completely confined in that. Any news on the horses? So I'm not ready to talk about the horses just yet. The one piece that I will tell you is that Liberty, the third horse, has actually found a home that won't be with us. So her owner had told us about, her concerns and things like that. And in the meantime, the neighbor that she shares a fence line with had asked if he could keep her. So she will be staying close to home and has found someone to love her. And I'm a little bit sad about that because she was an incredible horse. But I do feel like it was for the best. Names of the 2 new rescue cats. So Sassy and Chester are the names here. And they're doing wonderful. Actually, Chester was just in here right before I went live. He came in and Hank went out. And then he ran back out the second time that I came through. Am I going to wireproof the whole coop? Yes. So today the netting came in for the top. So you ever seen a circus tent, how it has the poles and then the stuff comes down on the edges? So that's what the top of our chicken area will look like. It'll be with a bird net that goes over top, and then it will be completely wired in all the way around. And then on the edges will be cattle panels that lay out 2 foot all the way across. So there's no dig all the way around that area as well. So it should be predator proof. So that'll keep anything over from the flyovers to the no digging. All of that should be fine. Yes, Lester found Barnadette. He asked me today, is there anything else I need to be doing to keep her here? I was like, listen, we have the most wonderful space for cats around here. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Those cats can come in and go anytime that they want to and do. But even Eclipse chooses to be out in the horse barn here or the greenhouse. She can come in anytime. She will come in anytime. But she absolutely loves to be out in the horse barn. She's made herself a spot, and that's her thing. She goes to the greenhouse to eat. She will come inside to say hello, or if it's cold, I'll bring her in, but that's where she wants to be. Beth, yes, I'm doing an aviary. Are the rabbits going to be pets? Yes, but I have that is a Lester thing. I know that he's looked at them, but I have no idea when, what type. I know zero about rabbits, okay? Zero. And that is all Lester Eugene Morrow Jr. He told me that he raised them when he was growing up. So that's him. Will Millie protect my chickens? I hope so. Last night and yesterday, she slept out by our chicken coop. Why? There's nothing in it, but that's where she wanted to be. A lot of people have raised rabbits. Yes, the rabbit poop is what I'm interested in. I know that's really sick and twisted, but I want their leftovers I want to fertilize my garden with it, okay? And then they can also eat my garden leftovers, so that'll be nice as well. Yeah, Millie is getting ready for her second job. Fiona is too. Don't get me wrong. Fiona's an incredible watchdog too, but Fiona comes home a lot more than Millie does. I talked with Lester today. I was like, that Millie yesterday, while she came home and was here out by the chicken coop, I feel like she doesn't want a lot of human interaction right now because she's working 2 jobs. She's watching Miss Pat's chickens and coming home to prepare to watch our chickens and does make her rounds and comes to eat, gets a little love, spend an hour or so in the house, and then has to go right back outside after she's had a nap. And she has found her ultimate purpose. She's also been spending a lot of time out on our spillway. Do I know why? No, but that is where I think she sees a lot of territory and can lay right there and feels like she has, some ground covered. So that's kind of funny. Lester might turn his rabbits loose in my garden. No, maybe at the end of the garden season, maybe, but he better not. Chickens and rabbits can live together. Yes. I have not heard how Casper is doing. That would be a Lester question, as he has her phone, the lady's phone number, Miss Mary's phone number. I think I've answered most of the questions, y'all. I promise to keep you posted on how things go with my dad. I don't know if we'll go live. We'll see. Trying to think of what else is happening this week. It's already Tuesday. Quite a bit happening, actually. As I mentioned, the pasture shuffle, and I did not get DNA back on Casper yet. It's taken a long time. I actually logged in to make sure that it was all registered and that they received it, and it just says still processing it this time. Can you see the baby chicks again? Yes, you may see the baby chicks again. They're not very awake right now, but if I open these doors, they probably will be. Hi, little ones. Oh, they made a mess. Don't be judging my mess. See how quick they are to make a mess? I cleaned that right before I went live. This is Monday. Look at her. Look at me right now. Look, she knows. She's the sassiest of them all. All of them. That little firecracker redhead that she has going on. Look at her. Look at me.
absolutely brave, brazen, bold. I see you, baby. They're so curious. Hello, little ones. I think it's super sweet that we have this very light colored one back here, and that even though they're all the same breed, how different that they look in their markings. Because look, this one has a white chest. Thank you. Come here. Come on. Let me see you. Yeah, you. This one does not. Now they're all scared. They're like, oh, she picked us up again. She touched me. She touched me. Shake it off. And then there's little Monday coming right back to the center to see what's going on, trying to rule everything. There are 2 with white chest. Nope. That one and this one, I think. Maybe there's 3. But not all of them have it. Some of them have the chipmunk markings on their head. Some don't. So I'm very eager to see what they look like grown up. But for now, they're the softest, sweetest little things. And I'm fully getting lost in watching them. This little girl right here is the funniest. Like, she gets all up in the camera and has, look at her. I see you, baby. And has like real conversations and wants to like pose and just be like, just all, look at her. There's no other chicken that has done this. Okay, I'll let you go. Anyway, they're super awesome, y'all. Super, super awesome. And this is Sunday, the runner. The biggest one. Who's super docile and calm now. All put back together and in charge. But like ready to fly. Ready to fly. Totally ready to take off. Is that their real names? I don't think so. But definitely. Look how mean. Yeah. Those were, for people who weren't watching, those were the first 2 born. That's the only reason we called them that. Yes, my dad gets here on a Thursday. Thanks for pointing that out. Sure to be a shit show. We will introduce him in the most appropriate way to the most crazy shit show that there probably will be. Anyway. Thank you for joining me tonight. Sorry I cried. Apparently I needed to get that off my chest. Thank you for listening to me vent and be nervous about what's coming up. I will figure out my plans. It'll be fine. I'll get through it just like everything else in life. And we will share as much as we can. Do you hear these other chicks down here going bananas? They're like losing their minds, making loud things. Anyway, I love you all very much. I hope that you stay well, stay warm. Be sure to step outside and put the sunshine on your face. And thank you for crying with me and letting it out about Voodoo. We miss him terribly. So sleep well, stay well. I love you so much, and I will catch you on tomorrow's video. Good night, y'all.